You remarried an old man, huh? What? What? What are you talking about? Wow, you've really lost your taste. You should have just stayed with me. Ha! Encountering my ex-husband after years, he greeted me with a smug grin, igniting an awkward silence. Oblivious to the tension his words caused, he continued to exude arrogance. It was clear he hadn't grasped the extent of his absurdity. Then karma made its grand entrance. I savored the moment as his expression paled, finally catching up to him. My name is Olivia Harper, age 28. I married the man I thought was the love of my life, and it's only been a year since our wedding. Yet I find myself contemplating divorce. My husband Jackson is 30 years old and works for a client company, a place where our paths frequently crossed as we both managed the same account. Initially, our conversations revolved around work, but soon we discovered a shared passion for the same band, and our relationship blossomed from there. Jackson's dedication to his job was admirable, and our ability to reconcile swiftly after arguments was a strength of ours. I had faith that our bond would endure the transition into marriage. However, once we exchanged vows, everything changed. The affectionate and caring Jackson I knew transformed into a controlling figure. The shift in his demeanor became apparent shortly after our wedding. On a typical evening returning home from work, I found him already there, engrossed in his phone. Normally, I would be met with a warm greeting, but that day felt different. Despite my cheerful "I'm home," he remained silent, consumed by his screen. Did he not hear me? I thought, my voice rising slightly. Jackson, I'm home. Sorry I'm late. I'll make dinner right away. Shut up. You're the one who's late. You're worthless. His words pierced the air, leaving me frozen in disbelief. What? What, Jackson? You're my wife, and you come home later than me? Are you crazy? I stammered. I'm sorry, I had to work late today, I offered. Work late? That's your fault for being competent. Don't make excuses. It's annoying. I don't know what to say. Despite our past arguments, never had he called me worthless. It took me a moment to register the gravity of his words. From that day on, criticism became his unwelcome companion. This is bland. You can't even cook. You're a failure as a wife. I married you, so be a better wife. His harsh remarks echoed with each meal. Initially, I attempted to defend myself, but it only fueled his anger. What did you just say? That's why I'm also working and doing housework. If you're going to complain, you can help a little. Don't joke with me. You're the wife, and I'm the husband. Housework is all your work, he retorted, dismissing my plea for mutual respect. But we are a married couple, right? Shouldn't we support each other? I ventured, hoping to reason with him. Are you stupid? You should be grateful you even got to marry me, he retorted dismissively. That's not fair. You just need to listen to me and do your job, got it? His words cut deep, shattering any illusion of the loving Jackson I once knew. Perhaps he had been wearing a mask all along, and this was his true self unmasked. Despite the turmoil, divorce wasn't a viable option. We had just begun our journey as husband and wife, so I endured. A year passed, yet nothing changed. I remained confined to the role of a servant, fulfilling my husband's every whim. The only respite I found was at work, where my colleague and friend Lily provided solace. Lily, the CEO's daughter, remained grounded and dedicated, a quality I admired. Our lunches together became my sanctuary amidst the chaos of my marriage. While we were eating, Lily suddenly begins to speak. Hey, Olivia, guess what? I'm dating that guy I told you about. Really? That's great. Thanks to you for listening to me and giving advice. Really, thank you so much. I respond gratefully. I didn't do anything. You did it all yourself, Lily, she insists modestly. Now why, if you hadn't encouraged me, I wouldn't have even contacted him, I insist. Seeing her blush and speak so happily warms my heart. Really, I am so happy for you, I express sincerely, before she redirects the conversation towards me. What about you, Olivia? Are you okay? She asks, her concern evident. Okay? What do you mean? I deflect. I mean, your husband, he's still giving you a hard time, isn't he? Lily presses, her gaze unwavering. I feel a pang of guilt. Yes, I had confided in her about my husband's verbal abuse. I'm fine, I guess. I've just gotten used to it. I reply with a forced smile, not wanting to dampen her happiness. That's not okay. You shouldn't have to get used to something like that. I've only been married for a year. I can't just get a divorce that quickly. I attempt to justify, but Lily interrupts. But if you keep this up, you'll... Thank you, Lily. Just having you worry about me is enough, really. Thank you. Thank you, I express earnestly, though Lily appears puzzled. I can't burden her any further, especially when she's on the brink of happiness. I offer my gratitude once more and swiftly steer the conversation elsewhere. I need to shield her from my troubles. A month passes, and it's a holiday, coinciding with Lily's birthday. Her boyfriend's work schedule confines their celebration to the evening, so we plan a lunch date instead. Rising early, I swiftly tackle the housework and begin preparing for our outing. As I apply my makeup, my husband interjects. Hey, you're not planning on going out, are you? He questions. I mentioned it earlier, right? Today is Lily's birthday, and we're meeting for lunch, I remind him. What? I don't care. You're a housewife. You can't just go gallivanting around, he asserts, his tone dripping with disdain. I always do the hard work on my days off. Can I have just one day? I plead, hoping for a glimmer of understanding. Who do you think you are talking to? You should only listen to me, he retorts, his voice dripping with entitlement. Usually, I would offer a meek apology and attempt to diffuse the tension, but this time, I've had enough. Enduring days filled with insults from the man I once pledged my life to wasn't the marriage I had envisioned. Fueled by frustration and anger, I find my voice rising. Enough is enough. Why does my life have to be controlled by you, Jackson? How dare you speak to me like that? I'm fed up with being belittled and yelled at every day. This isn't the marriage I wanted, he fires back defensively. Huh, like I care. It's all your fault for being a useless wife. Fine, let's get a divorce, he declares coldly, his words slicing through the air. His reaction catches me off guard, but I stand firm. Are you serious? He asks, his eyes widening in disbelief. Absolutely. I should have made this decision much sooner. I hesitated because we were newlyweds, but that doesn't matter now. I should have left someone like you a long time ago. I respond resolutely, my resolve unwavering. What? So now it's all my fault. Fine, let's divorce, but no alimony, got it? If that's what it takes to divorce you, I'll gladly accept. You'll regret this, you hear me? His words were venomous as he stormed out, only to return moments later with divorce papers in hand. He signed them hastily and thrust them towards me. Without hesitation, I added my signature, sealing our fate. And just like that, we were officially divorced. In the aftermath, I found solace in a temporary apartment near my workplace while I searched for a new permanent residence. Only Lily and my trusted boss, Anderson, were privy to the details of my situation. Finally, I began to reclaim some semblance of control over my life. Years passed, marked by significant changes following my divorce. My ex-husband's incessant attempts at contact nearly shattered my faith in humanity. You'll never be happy. You'll be alone forever, his messages echoed like a haunting refrain, threatening my peace of mind. Yet it was Carter Anderson, my mentor and guardian at work, along with Lily, who became my pillars of support. Carter, like a brother to me, noticed my distress and extended a helping hand when I needed it most. Hey, are you okay, Mr. Anderson? I inquire, noticing his somber demeanor. I'm sorry, I have been making a lot of mistakes lately, he responds, his tone heavy with remorse. That's not what I mean. You seem relieved after the divorce, but you've been looking down again. What happened? I pressed gently, concerned for his well-being. Well, my ex-husband won't stop sending me abusive messages. I confess, feeling a weight lift off my shoulders as I share my burden. Ignore him. Block his number, Carter advises firmly, offering a simple yet effective solution. That day, Carter takes me to a few pubs in an attempt to lift my spirits. Initially intending to enjoy a night out, I find myself pouring out my emotions, eventually breaking down in tears. From then on, we begin to share regular meals together, and before I realize it, our relationship blossoms into something romantic. Last month he proposed, and now I proudly wear an engagement ring. Carter's recent promotion and transfer to a different department mean we don't interact as frequently at work, but living together ensures I never feel alone. And the icing on the cake? Lily is getting married to the same man she spoke of fondly years ago. Despite knowing it's not his fault, the fact that he works at the same company as my ex-husband brings a hint of unease. But today marked Lily's wedding day, a time for celebration and joy. I pushed aside any lingering anxiety as I made my way to the venue, only to encounter Lily's father, the esteemed CEO of our company, along the way. "Ah, Mr. CEO. Hello!" I greeted warmly. "Oh, Olivia? Lily always speaks highly of you," he responded with a genuine smile. "Thank you, sir. Is your wife not with you today?" I inquired politely. "She went ahead to help with the wedding preparation, so I'm on my way there alone," he explained. "I see. Would you like to walk together?" I offered graciously. "Of course. I'd be delighted to walk with you, Olivia," he accepted, and together we strolled towards the venue, engaging in casual conversation along the way. As I approached the check-in area, a familiar voice called out from behind me. "Hey, isn't that Olivia?" "What? Jackson? Why are you here?" I exclaimed, surprised by his presence. "Why? It's a colleague's wedding, of course I was invited. Long time no see," he responded casually, his tone dripping with sarcasm. My apprehensions were confirmed. Lily's fiancé was indeed a colleague of my ex-husband, and evidently close enough to extend an invitation to him. With a mocking smile, Jackson proceeded to taunt me. "So, you remarried an old man, huh?" "What? What are you talking about? You should have just stayed married with me instead of marrying some old guy." "How dare you?" "It's none of your business," I retorted, my voice edged with frustration. "Why are you mad? Just because you're lonely doesn't mean you should marry some old guy. Showing off that ring, huh?" Jackson's words dripped with disdain, oblivious to the uncomfortable atmosphere he was creating. That was the last straw. I couldn't allow him to disrespect Lily's father, the CEO, like that. "If you continue, I'll have to ask you to leave the ceremony hall," I warned, my patience wearing thin. As I moved to intervene, an employee at the reception intervened, chastising Jackson. "Shut up! Do you even know who this man is?" "Huh? What? He's Olivia's current husband, right?" Jackson replied, confusion evident in his voice. "Who are you to call the CEO old man?" "That's incredibly rude," the employee reprimanded sharply. "CEO? Yes, this gentleman is Lily's father and the CEO of our company, Mr. Mason," the employee clarified, his tone stern. Jackson's face drained of color as he realized the gravity of his mistake. "No man is so lucky," he muttered, his embarrassment palpable. Approaching my ex-husband with a relaxed smile, the CEO extended his hand. "Nice to meet you. You're Olivia's ex-husband, right?" "Ah, yes, I am. We have been doing business with your company for a while," Jackson replied, his demeanor noticeably subdued. "Just so you know, I am the CEO," Mr. Mason stated firmly, his tone carrying a weight of authority. "I'm sorry, I didn't know," Jackson muttered, his voice tinged with apprehension. "Don't worry about it. I was just about to end our business relationship with your company," Mr. Mason continued, his expression unreadable. "What? Wait, that would be a problem for us," Jackson interjected hastily, panic evident in his voice. The prospect of losing a major deal due to his actions threatened his standing within the company. Stammering, Jackson pleaded with the CEO, realizing the dire consequences of his actions. As the gravity of the situation sank in, he lowered his head, his face draining of color. However, I knew from Lily that the CEO was resolute in his decisions. Unmoved by my ex-husband's desperate excuses, Mr. Mason finally spoke up. "Enough. This happened because of your inappropriate behavior. Not only did you insult me, but you also hurt Olivia, who you have divorced. I cannot continue doing business with a company that employs someone like you. What about my position? Jackson stuttered, his desperation palpable. Your position? I couldn't care less. We won't be inconvenienced at all by severing ties with your company, Mr. Mason declared, his tone final. To be frank, we have the upper hand. There are plenty of companies that want to do business with us. You can't be serious, Jackson protested, attempting to salvage the situation. Moreover, your colleague Lily's fiancé, we're thinking of poaching him to groom him as the next CEO. So there is absolutely no downside for us. Why would you go to such lengths for Olivia? Mr. Mason countered, his tone unwavering. Olivia is the only person who treated my daughter like a normal person. Most employees limit their interactions with the CEO's daughter, Mr. Mason continued, his voice softening with sincerity. Olivia didn't care about that and became good friends with Lily. Thanks to her, my daughter could be at ease in the company. I've often heard my daughter say, I'm grateful to Olivia. I had no idea anyone who hurts someone my daughter is grateful to won't be forgiven by me, Mr. Mason concluded, his words carrying a weight of finality. At the CEO's words, Jackson's shoulders began to tremble violently. Overwhelmed by the weight of his actions, he found himself unable to bear the cold reality surrounding him. With tears streaming down his cheeks, he collapsed to his knees, his spirit broken. I gazed down at him with a sense of calmness. Do you understand now how unreasonable you have been? I questioned, my voice steady despite the turmoil within me. Olivia, help me. I can't go on like this. Thanks to you for divorcing me. Thanks to you, I'm incredibly happy now, Jackson pleaded, his desperation palpable. After my final words, the CEO approached me. Shall we go? He asked, his voice gentle yet firm. I nodded silently, acknowledging the silent agreement, and walked away from my ex-husband with the CEO by my side. Later, I learned that my ex couldn't bear the atmosphere and left the venue. The following day, the CEO contacted his company and terminated the business relationship that had endured for several years. Jackson was held accountable, facing consequences that included the loss of any chance of promotion and even a pay cut. Now he keeps a low profile at work, surrounded by harsh criticism and cold stares from colleagues. As for me, I recently finalized my marriage registration with Carter, who happens to be my boss. The entire company celebrated our union, marking a joyful occasion. With this milestone reached, I made the decision to step down from my position. From now on, I aim to support him as a homemaker, recognizing that happiness can be found along various paths in life. This certainty solidified after divorcing my ex-husband. It's evident that the quality of married life can undergo a significant transformation depending on one's partner. I am determined to demonstrate this truth as I embark on this new chapter with Carter by my side.